Let me know when you've got everything muted.
Oh, you can go ahead.
Okay. What I was saying is that when you know who your primal self is, and we come together in IU, the Quechua word for community, there's all sorts of wild critters there. In the physical world, many of these would not at all get along well together. They might even be predator and prey. However, at the energetic, none of that is present. Many of them are predators, but they don't prey on life. They prey on shadows. So that in IU and even with yourself, if shadow is around you, the lower self unresolved business is trying to catch you and keep you caught in the past, your primal self will sniff it out, see it, and will do whatever it takes so that it's gone. Now, here's the difference. It doesn't eat it. It doesn't kill it. It doesn't make it lunch. What it does is when it sees it, it perceives it, it gets it, it catches it, let's say, it transforms it by its touch, just by its perceiving, I see you, it transforms it into light. So in that way, I say it is a predator, but not of life, of anything that is the opposite of life. So it is well done to know who your primal self is. Now, this can be something that you never even could conceive would ever be your primal self, but it is. And it doesn't equate to the human physical. So that means there could be a very large person whose primal self might be an ant. Okay, so why would that be something that is essential for someone who's a big person, physically big in the physical human world, to know that a little teeny tiny speck of an ant? Okay, well, an ant is very strong. It carries many more times of its own weight. It works in community in IU. It is a collective mind. What serves one serves all. It can go into places that isn't seen, but yet live there well. So you see the many attributes. Okay? So there may be some of you who do know who your primal self is. Maybe you've done what has been known in the past as primal, as power animal. But when I first heard that term some years ago, when it started to be known, it never felt as though that was what it really was. So I asked about that. I said, show me what is a better way to term that core self. And what I got was primal self. Because it's not about power, it's about strength. It doesn't necessarily have to be an animal. It could be any form of life. And that is why it's been known with us in IU Suyu as primal self. There's a difference between primal self and guides. Guides are ones that come to you and can help you in many ways, and then they go. There are others that come in at birth and stay with you through the entirety of this life. But that isn't particularly your primal self. Your primal self is the one through whom you perceive all. On last week's call, Wolf came. And let us say this, and I asked all of you, I said, how would you like it for you to bring forth your primal self and to actually embody that, feel that, and engage yourself through your primal self? And all of you said yes. So this is why Primal Senses came today, what the Sacred Ones of Light, Sacred Angels of Light gave me. To engage life through the primal self bypasses the lower self physical stories, the emotions, how a thing feels, or a thought about it. It goes well beyond that. It goes to just simply knowing when a thing is so or when it is not. If any of you have pets, you know about that, where your pet will do a thing, or someone that, or people that you like, or a person you like, your animal won't have anything to do with that person, or just the opposite way. Okay. My cats that I've had throughout life, and the one that is with me now, I'd say very good attention to them, because they tell me things at that primal, non-human self. They tell me through their senses, something that the human senses may not pick up or may very well intuit it, but because the story or the belief or something else that comes up doesn't want to go with that gut feeling, wants to ignore it, it can be the very thing that either that keeps you and all yours safe, or, in fact, can bring you forth the best relationship, whether it be love, friendship, or whatever it is that you've ever had in your life. So it's very important to go through those primal senses. Very much so. Joseph, while we have the call on mute, I would like you to go over the guidelines, and then we can open them back up.
Yeah, sure. Just be aware of any noises or distractions around you, and just try to be in a quiet or as quiet a space as you can be. If it gets too loud, I'll have to mute the noise for the call, for the quality of the call, and just be good to each other. Don't talk over each other. Let each other speak, and that's about it, more or less. And
yeah, well, you did it.
All right.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah. Yeah, and so if there are noises that happen, and Joseph, what he will do is end up muting up all the calls, because he can't always discern which one it's behind. Okay, there's a great, yes, thank you. Okay, there was a great deal of noise right then, so he had to mute the calls. Please be aware that the slightest, tiniest, for some noise, for some reason, on these calls amplifies to much more than it actually is. So just be aware of that. Because in that way, that as the teachings are being given, all can hear it, and it won't be distracted. So let's try that again, Joseph.
The whole thing over again, or what?
No, open the phones.
Oh, they already are open. I already did that.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, how many of you know who your primal self is?
I do.
Anybody?
I do. My primal self is a condor.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
I think, my spirit guide, my animal spirit, whatever, sorry, is wolf.
Okay, but that's an important distinction.
Yeah, so I'm not, I might not be sure then.
Okay, yes, because you may very well have that one as your guide, but that doesn't necessarily make that one your primal self. And how about anyone else?
I think Lion, Linda Salvador.
Oh, well, there's no question there, Lioness person. I know about that. I've heard your roar enough times to know that. Good for you. How about the rest of you?
No.
No? Okay.
I listened to the YouTube video.
Okay, one at a time. Whoever.
This is Celine.
Yes.
And in the past, I've had a secret specific animal that I don't want to disclose. But then I listened to your YouTube. I listened to your YouTube audio a few weeks ago where you talked about a primal animal, and I got the gorilla. So I don't know who's going to show up tonight.
Okay, it won't be any different. Your primal self is who and what you are. It doesn't change. This is the essence, the core of you. This is who and what you are. Energetically, essentially, this is who you are. It doesn't change. So if this is why it may serve all if we do take a primal self journey with the sole intent of you coming to know your primal self. This way it'll be very clear who your primal self is. There'll be no question about it. The spirit within you, the force of life that gives life to your physical body, takes on the aspects of a primal one. These are the ones that know what it knows without stories and filters and veils to get in the way. It just knows what it knows. And it may be that after this journey you will come to realize that you have intuitively always looked at things that way or found things out that way. So we shall see. Your guides can change. The ones that come with you when you are born and you birth into this world, there are 9 of them that do stay with you for this entire life. But there are other spirit guides that do come to you throughout life for certain situations to help you through that situation. And then when it's done, very often do go. Primal self does not. Primal self does stay because primal self is who you are. If primal self goes, so does the physical body. So, once we do this journey and you come to know and are clear about who your primal self is, if you are not already, we're going to go through a bit of an engagement of how it is to perceive through its senses, through its eyes. See what it sees. Sniff out life the way it does. Can be a lot of fun for one. But there is one caution I say to you: you have to come back into human form, folks. You can't stay wolf. Sorry, can't do it. It just really doesn't work right when you go to the grocery store. It really just does not work right. So, when you meet someone who does know and does is fully embodied and is merged one with that primal self and engages through the primal self all of life, you know that there's a distinct feel about that person that doesn't quite feel domesticated. She or he might be doing all the social amenities, but there's something about that person that's a wild person. Because you know it, you perceive it. And you very likely will see it in that person's eyes. Any of you know anyone like that?
You.
Me. Little domestic kitty cat that I am.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Me. I think so, yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So, here's what we're going to do. Whether or not you know who your primal self is, we will take this journey. And for those of you who are quite clear and do know your primal self, let your primal self perhaps reveal aspects of itself that you have always intuitively known but not consciously known. Let it show that part to you, those aspects to you. For the rest of you, let us see who comes. Now, what we will do is you're going to center and you're going to ground and clear your mind of all stories or guessing what it will be. Well, you know, I do like wolves, so it's probably going to be a wolf. Throw that out. Set it aside. Because it may very well not be. Because in this way you truly know who it is. Truly know who it is. And it may be a critter that you have never felt an affinity with. But yet is your primal self. If that happens, then that tells you a great deal right there. That your primal self and you have been at odds. And now, when we journey, and whoever comes, and if that happens, know that you have met in a place of perfect love, perfect trust. And perhaps anything that surrounded that at odds feeling can disappear. That has happened from time to time throughout the years. I've seen that. And once a person realizes that and stops fighting with him or herself about, you get a thought and you want to do this, and then you immediately get the thought to do the opposite. Whoa, what's happened there? Something's at odds. So instead of bucking heads, rub noses. So what I'm going to do, Joseph, I'm going to ask you to mute the calls.
All right.
Center and ground. Psyche, hapun wilke, oira culture. Hapun wilke, pachamama. Hapun wilke, inti taita. Hapun wilke, mamakila. Hapun wilke, apukunya. Hapun wilke, soja. Hapun wilke, songa. Hapun wilke, moonlight. Kunjai, Konjai, Samai. We find ourselves in a jungle. In front of us, we see a temple, ancient beyond ancient, in front of us. It has many steps that we must go up to this temple. But before we go, we thank all who dwell here in this place, and we tell them why we are here. We are here to find our primal selves, for this has long gone missing. Intuitively, we have always known, but now we are ready to consciously know. And those who are with us in our IU, some of us already do know, and we are coming now, seeking to reveal which that has been hidden. Our primal selves will show us this. And we leave our gifts and our thanks, and we begin to climb up those stairs. Calling on our primal selves, paying attention to how simple and easy it is to climb these stairs, perhaps not. Paying attention to this. Whatever comes that seems to slow our way up, we blow it out. Simply, it is gone. Nothing more. We are halfway up now. And as we get closer to the top, we see this wall. Immense, immeasurable, going off into the distance. And we see that there are openings in this wall. We call to our primal self. And as we do that, one of these doorways begin to glow. Beautiful, brilliant light. Quichi, the light of the rainbow, prism light. And with that, we feel anew, and we simply now easily come up the rest of those stairs. And as we approach that glowing, luminous door, we see through into a landscape. We thank those who dwell in this temple, the ancient ones. And we leave an offering and a gift, and we ask that we be permitted to pass that gateway, that doorway. Blow out anything that perhaps is in your way, so that you may enter this place. Holding nothing back, No fear. We cross now this threshold and into this land. Calling to your primal self. Please come, I am ready now. I have shed myself clean. I am naked. I have nothing to defend, so I have no need for defense. I am simply here, clean and clear. Perfect love, perfect trust. I call you now. For those of you who know this one and have long been with this one, ask this one to reveal to you aspects that have remained hidden, and you are ready now to accept, for it is who you are. Going now deeper onto this land. Standing arms wide, legs wide, head back. Let this one come now. Feel its fur, its wings, its feathers, its scales. Feel its breath. Feel its love. Its love. Moonlight. Enfolding, enveloping, merging. You are one. Knowing that this is who you are. Rejoice in this. Play. Enjoy. Be joyful. Delightfully. Outrageously so. Roll around with this one. Fly with this one. Slither with this one. Whatever this is. Do this. Feel it. Embrace it. Embody it. For it is you. And together, giving thanks and offering gifts of gratitude, of love, moonlight, compassion. Leave this place now. Coming through the doorway, again, leaving your gift of love and gratitude, compassion, and joy. Bubbling over, bubbling, sparkling. Feeling this one as you fully now are realizing, revealing to yourself who you are. Feel this embodiment happen. Merging, no longer one, no longer forgotten. Coming down those stairs, so much easier, those steps now. Leaving a trail of gifts, of love, of gratitude, compassion, of delight. And to those who dwell in the jungle in this place, those gifts are given of love, gratitude, joy, compassion, delight. And now, returning now to your physical bodies. your current physical body, returning now to your current physical body in the time and place where you are. And even as you return, let that knowing that you are primal awaken fully within you, in your heart, in your belly, in your soul, in your head, in every place that you are, every aspect of you are. Center and ground. Fully return to your current physical body, the human one, yes. In the current time and place where you are. Joseph, you can open the phone. Let me know.
All right.
Okay. Okay. What have you got, folks? What do you know now? You have to be in your human self now, your human body. I know that, but you do have to.
This is Celine from Chicago.
Yes.
And I saw a huge tiger.
Ah.
And then there was a lion in the distance, but he was kind of far away. And I know they didn't even live together, but this huge, massive tiger, and he talked to me and gave me words of wisdom, and then at the end I threw him a steak. That was my gift, because they're carnivores. So it was exciting, and thank you.
Do you know now you are a tiger? Do you know, Celine, that you are a tiger?
Kind of lectured me, the tiger. He said, be the queen of the Nile, not queen of the Nile. And you're out in the grasses.
Very clear, very clear, very clear. Don't let the human lower self get in the way and write stories or get anything to distract you from what you know. Are you tiger?
I mean, I love the cat.
Are you tiger?
I don't know. I don't know.
Aye, Mama, you're in your head.
I was dressed like an Egyptian woman, and when I started off, I was wearing...
Mama. Mama, escúchame.
I'll just be quiet.
Whenever, you know what you know. By letting the lower self stories and thinkings and doubts and questions come in, it knocks you out from what you know. That first perceptual ping, the one who came to you was tiger. Is that true?
Yeah, it was a tiger, big tiger.
Okay, then that's it.
Big tiger.
It's that simple. Mama, it's that simple. It really is that simple. The human doesn't ever want to believe in simple, but it is simple.
Okay.
Know what you know. Rejoice in it. Feel it. Feel it. Feel it. Feel her prowl all through you as someone else was about to say something. So you be still for a moment. And who else was going to say a thing?
I saw Otoranga.
The Otorango? Aye.
Yes.
You saw? Oh, Otorango in Quechua means jaguar, folks, for you who don't know Quechua. Jaguar. Otorango. Yeah. Now you know. Excellent. I kind of know about jaguars, so yeah, I would know something about that. Magnificent. Who else?
This is Michael. I saw a big black bear.
Well, all right. Then that's who you are. You're a big black bear. magnificent. Anyone else?
Sandra, mine is still Condor.
Well, that's good. But did Condor offer to you any hidden aspects of yourself?
Just an emerald.
Only an emerald. Emerald is this is a mystical jewel. Mystical. You meditate with this. This is when you go on your own time. Go into meditation, into a quiet, still state. Call on Condor, and hold your hands out, cupped, so that the left is holding the right, and let that emerald come into your hand. Meditate on it. See what happens.
Okay.
Very cool. Anybody else?
This is Susan. I'm not. I got a few different things, so I.
Who was the very first one that came? The very first one.
Let's see.
Very first. Don't think about it. Just know it.
Well, I think a water buffalo.
Okay. Do you think that, or do you know that?
Well, I also got a person before that, like a black warrior.
Hold on.
But the first animal. Okay.
Hold on, Mama. You're out of your head. You got to get out of your head here, Mama.
Okay.
When you first entered that place and you called, who was the first one that came to you? The very first one.
Water buffalo.
Then that's it. Feel.
Okay, I'll go with the water buffalo.
Okay, but you see, I can feel your lower self, human, saying,
Yeah.
Know what you know. Don't doubt yourself, Mama. You know what you know. You always have. The thing is that there's been enough around you, enough people and things around you that have said, no, you don't know what you know. But you know what you know. You do. And you know what, honey? You found your home. You found your family who can see you, and we do see you, and we love you, and we know you know what you know. And we rejoice that you do. This is so. So rejoice with your water buffalo. Feel that one within you. What a very strong creature. Very strong critter.
Thank you.
But you know that. Know it. I would suggest that you, on your own time, quietly, in a quiet, still place, meditate and call, and go within and be within who and which you now know you are, water buffalo, and find out what happens.
Okay.
And you may want to create, on your sacred altar, you might even want to create a mesa that has water buffalo in it.
Okay.
Perhaps wear something with that drawn on it, or do this and see what happens.
Okay.
Magnificent. Not because I'm telling you, because you know this to be so. Do you know this to be so?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else?
This is Joseph. I saw a cougar once again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you are a cougar.
Indeed, I am.
You are. And, cougars can be secretive critters. That explains a lot, doesn't it?
You figured me out.
Yeah, it did that. Did so. How about the rest of you? Anybody else?
This is Linda, the lion.
Yes. And did Lion show you anything, reveal anything that was hidden within you?
No.
Okay. You know who you are, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Good. I heard a little lion roar in there. That's good. A little lion rumble in that. That's good. Anybody else? No. See, all critters are of the light. And we're going to bring in an aspect of that. They are of the light. But like all, there's light and there's shadow. And it is important to realize who it is that you are engaging life through. Your primal self of light or the shadow one. The shadow one is the one that engages through stories, who defends when there's no defense needed. The one who can become poisonous. So it's important to realize that difference. And when you feel that aspect, those things coming up, know that you, the primal one of light, can say, nope, I am here. And that changes that. How would all of you like to feel this one, your primal self, move within you? Let itself be known. Would you like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, maybe. I'm going to give you a word of maybe. What happened?
Yes, I mean I'll just listen.
You'll just what?
Listen,
Mama.
Yes.
Was that a real yes?
Yeah, I don't want to be possessed or anything. Just shut up.
Oh.
Sorry.
Sorry for what, Mama?
No.
You didn't do anything wrong.
There's a dog barking out here anyway, so I'm going to mute this thing so you guys don't hear it.
No, you're not going to mute yourself.
No,
we want you here. We want to hear you. The dog will take care of himself, especially when you start howling. He'll take care of himself. The thing of it is that when you can feel that primalness coursing through your body, coursing through your veins, all of your senses heighten. And like we've seen dogs and cats do, where they may be just sitting around and then all of a sudden the head comes up. And they have a watchful look on them. It's like that. So you have a choice and a chance to do that here. It's up to you. You do it or no. We don't force anyone to do anything. We just offer the seeds and for you to pick it up or no. And last week's call, where we were journeying, Wolf came. Was that just the human trying to sound like a wolf, or did you feel wolf? For any of you who were with us last week.
I felt wolf.
Okay. And the thing of it is that you may not know how your primal self sounds. You may not know its voice, its language. It does. So whatever it is, let it come out. in whatever way it will. What I'm going to ask you all to do is to center and ground and call and to tell your primal self that you wish to hear its voice, that you wish to hear its language, that you want to see through its eyes, to sniff, to smell what it smells, to hear what it hears, to taste what it tastes, to feel what it feels, to say what it says. You're ready. I'm going to ask you all to close your eyes. And as you go deep within yourself in stillness, be still. Be still. Center and ground, be still. Quiet your bodies, being in a still position. Center and ground, eyes closed. And when this primal self within you begins to engage, seeing what it, so you see what it sees, hears what it hears, smells what it smells, tastes what it tastes, feels what it feels, and speaks in its language, let that come forth. Let that come forth. Let it come forth. Don't hold it back. Let it speak forth. Let it speak forth. Let it speak forth. Yes. Adi. Let it speak forth, seeing what it sees, sniffing, smelling what it smells, speaking with its tongue, with its language. Let it come forth. Hearing as you have never heard before, seeing as you have never seen before, smelling all around you in a way you have never done before, tasting in a way you have never done before, feeling what you have never felt before, perhaps not consciously. And even those you have, enhancing it more. Primal, pulsing, vital, deep, from the core. Feeling the wind the water, the land, and your paws, your claws, your talons, the wind in your wings, ruffling your fur. As the earth is smooth and rough as you slide on her. Feel her. Tasting, smelling, seeing. With the sheer delight and joy, letting your voice be heard. Letting your eyes remain closed now. Centering and grounding, returning to your current physical human body, returning to the place and time where you are. Before you open your eyes, when you do, see through the eyes of your primal self. Sense through the senses of your primal self. Sniff through the smell, the nose, through your primal self. Hear as your primal self does. The taste in your mouth are that of your primal self. Open your eyes now. What do you see now? What has changed? What do you see now? In your primal self, now returning fully to your current human body in the time and place where you are. Fully in your human body. What do you see now? What is different? What do you see?
This is Celine, and I became the tiger, and the tiger was supposed to go inside me, but it felt more like I was inside the tiger, and I looked through its eyes, and I saw great distances, and I was running really, really fast in these tall grasses, and it just felt amazing, and I feel kind of high from the whole experience, like I took some kind of a drug, and it was a really good experience.
Well, if life in pulsing vitality is a drug, then you just did. Magnificent. How about the rest of you?
Hi, this is Susan. I think I cleared my sinuses. I finally breathed right for the first time in my life, I think. It just felt like I was breathing through my nose, almost like snorting a little bit. But it just felt very clear and clean and just powerful, just sort of like, oh, God, I can breathe. Which was really nice.
There you go. Now you have merged and are in perfect ayni, perfect reciprocity with your primal self. Wonderful. Breathe now, hon. You get to breathe. Cool. How about the rest of you?
I see that it's going to be easier for me to fulfill my purpose.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Excellent. How about the rest of you? Anyone else? The primal senses are the natural senses. They aren't story-ridden. They aren't emotionally laden. They are the actual primal senses in which we engage life. Anger, fear, these are natural primal instincts. They get you out of danger. They tell you what you know and what you don't know. You pay attention to that instinct. There's no story in it. When you get the primal instinct, your primal self says, heads up, feel the emotion, the human emotion that comes up with that. Don't sort it through a story or any of the lower self stuff. Just know it for what it is. Pay attention to it. This is what the primal senses are. They don't need a story. They don't need a point of reference. They don't need anything to tell them what they are, because instinctually, intuitively, you know that. This is the energetic, the pure energetics that you are perceiving. There's no question about it. We've all met people or been to places where instinctually we knew we didn't like it. When we listened to that, all went well. If we didn't, maybe not so much. Now that you know who your primal self is, are more strongly merged with that one, there need not be those engagements anymore. And what's more, you don't have to explain to anyone why it is you want to do a thing or you don't want to do a thing. You know, an interesting thing, when we go to Peru, especially if we're going into the jungles, people, the friends and family of people, very often will throw all the fears up. Oh, but you go in the jungle, you're going to get eaten. You go in the mountains and you never know what's going to happen up there with those mountain people. And you know what I tell people? I tell people, thank everyone who's telling you that, because now they've taken all the fears and laid them out flat for you. You can see them very clearly. And now you know what not to pack. Very easy that way. It makes it simple. So, folks, anybody want to say anything about what you now know? Now that you are merged and you are settling and merging even more perfectly with who and what you really are, the primal self, what's different now? As you look around where you are, what are your senses telling you? What are you perceiving? Anybody? Anybody feel the joy and the delight? The joy, the delight, the thrill of this?
Mm-hmm.
What you could let it out and let everyone hear it. We would love that. If you'd like. Anybody?
I would just say a sort of expanded sense of wholeness. Not saying I didn't really feel whole before, but, just a more clear sense of it. These are terms of what I feel now.
That's a good way to put that. Mhm. Mhm. This is revealing hidden aspects. I felt pretty good before, but now I feel even better. Cool.
And Fran, this is Celine again, and I just wanted to say that this journey was very, very timely for today. And you made me kind of review how you said you kind of know that you're not supposed to go places and do things. And hopefully, having met my primal self, that I will be stronger and, able to make better decisions in life now and moving forward. This is just excellent. This is just perfect.
Well, that's exactly what happens. You will be able to make better decisions because you're not sourcing it through old stories, old beliefs, old should-haves, should-dos, nothing of the past. You will be sourcing through your primal self, who is always eternally in the present.
And when I do listen, like you said, it's miraculous. So I'm just going to listen more. Thank you. And it was nice to meet such a strong animal.
So Viking. This is what it's about. And paying good attention when anger comes up and when fear comes up and when dislike comes up, when any of those so-called negative emotions come up. They're not negative. They just are what they are. But when they come up, instead of immediately sourcing them through the lower self stories to find the correct point of reference to explain it and understand it, just know it. And say to your primal self, if it's wolf, show me. Water buffalo, show me. Lion, show me. Cougar, show me. Condor, show me. And bear, show me. You will immediately know. Immediately. And then when the human gets in the way and you do fall over your feet again, well, you're only human. At least you're going to be human for the rest of this life. But you're getting better at it, and that means by knowing consciously who you really are, your primal self, that certainly is a large way of getting better at it. Magnificent. Anybody have questions, want to talk about their experience, want to say anything else about this? How any of you who have consciously known your primal selves for a while or for some time, how that has helped you in situations? Anybody? Without a story, just what you've come to know. Anybody?
Well, I would say engaging through it and sourcing through it's just a sort of expanded awareness rather than sourcing through any sort of linear constructs. It's more engaging through all of your senses, that everything you see in your mind, everything you hear, everything you intuit, anything that comes through intuition or feeling or knowing, it's really using all those senses and however it comes to you, because it's going to come different to everyone. But it's just having a vaster array of sensory perception than, anything physical in the five senses.
Yes, because now those lower self senses are being embodied with the primal senses. Higher and lower, if you will. You don't have to rely only on the five senses. There was someone some years ago who was a conscious person and who took it for granted that she was. And didn't have a great deal of compassion for those who are not awake, who are not aware, and who are trapped in their lower self physical bodies and have only their five senses to utilize throughout life. So the guidance is let's cut off the flow for a little bit and let's see what happens. That might be a game changer for her. So that's what happened. After a few minutes, she started to get a little wild-eyed. She said, I don't feel anything anymore. I don't like this. Oh, yeah, well, it's just, we kept working. And she's like, I can't get this. I don't sense things. I'm not seeing anything. I really don't like this. Can we make it stop? And was asked to her, do you understand why it happened in the first place? And she was getting there. And finally she did get it. And then, of course, everything was put back. And she breathed a vast sigh of relief. And she said, now I know. She said, now I have compassion, because it must be awful how people can just go through life and not know beyond their five senses. She said that she felt like she was trapped in a cage. That does give a great deal of compassion, doesn't it? And it takes the irritation away when other people aren't getting what you have always known. Because then that's sourcing through the shadow primal self. Do you get that, folks?
Yes.
Everybody, or just some of you, everybody?
Yes.
Yeah. So, magnificent. This Thursday, we're going to have the first of our other Call for Creation calls. This one, the first of those, will be on about higher grounds. I'm going to only bring that in a little bit now, so that it'd be wonderful to have all of you join us if you can for that. Higher grounds is a series of work where it helps you to go from sourcing through who and what you were, through your past, this life or beyond, and fully coming into the present. It clears away all the baggage. It clears away everything that's gotten in your way and not even realized it. It gets you clear. And we're going to go into all of that on Thursday, what higher grounds is, the kind of work we will be doing, and just what it can be. And any of you who in the past have gone through the medicine wheel with us, this is not the medicine wheel. While there are some aspects of that in this, it is not the medicine wheel. However, if any of you who have done that with us will be with us on Thursday, it may be that you can speak a little about your journey when you went through the medicine wheel and what you have come to know when you completed the medicine wheel. It can help people to understand just how higher grounds can help you get fully into the present without any baggage, because you see that there's so much old stuff that you may not even realize is there. The unknown, the unseen, the unspoken, the buried stuff. And maybe intuitively you know that's there, but it's not conscious. The higher ground helps you clear that. So that's going to be on Thursday night. Same time, same phone, same old caller ID, all that, but on Thursday. So it would be wonderful if all of you can be with us, and perhaps others as well. So before we do close this evening, anyone would like to say anything about this night's work?
I just loved it. It was great. I hope I can continue to breathe as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. It's nice romping with everybody.
Well, when we are physically together at the workshops and sometimes in Peru, we do just that. We embody the primal self in physical form, so to speak, and do that. It's wonderful. Really quite wonderful. So no fears that if there's, two that live in the physical world and really don't like each other, at the energetic it doesn't count. So you're okay. Nobody's going to get eaten. Nobody will be lunch for anybody else. Don't worry about it. Okay. We're going to thank the sacred ones. Hapun Wilka. Sulpaki, Hapun Wilka, Irakocha. Hapun Wilka, Pachamama. Hapun Wilka. Isi Taita. Hapun Wilka. Manakila. Hapun Wilka. Hapun Kunya. Hapun Wilka. Sulka. Hapun Wilka. Punta Munai. Conchoy, Son. We thank you, you who are the sacred ones of light, sacred angels of light, sacred archangels of light, the sacred warriors of light, sacred guardians of light, sacred keepers of light, sacred teachers of light, sacred guides of light, the sacred mountains of light, the sacred places of light, the sacred protectors of light, sacred healers of light, sacred feminine of light, the sacred masculine of light, the sacred mountain. We thank you all for being with us, guiding us, helping us to come to know our primal senses, our primal selves. For now, we can go forth, engaging life fully, cleanly, purely, through our primal senses, without veils, without filters, without anything to get in our way. And we help you, as you have helped us, we will help others. For we are vessels of light, and it is by your will you are the sacred ones, so it will be done. So be it. Thank you all. Perhaps we will see you on Thursday night.
Thank you, Fran. Thank you, everyone. Good night, everyone.
Good night, all.
Yeah. Bye.